What is up, meal prepping friends? It's Bobby, and Desi and I just got back from a week-long trip to Mexico where we ate everything in sight, did some really cool adventures, and chilled at the beach with a cold coconut in our hand the entire time. So today I thought I would do a Mexican-inspired meal prepping for weight loss that is easy to do, 30-minute recipe, super healthy, and huge on flavor like always. So are you ready for some pork chops al pastor? Spice-crusted pork chops cooked until nice and crusty and finished in a coconut pineapple sauce and served with a coconut cashew, cauliflower, and broccoli rice with herbs, lime, and coconut flakes. So listen, if you like healthy meal prepping that hooks you up for all your weight loss goals, click that subscribe, share this video, and spread the Flav City love because I'm rocking out new videos every Friday morning. To get this Mexican fiesta rolling, I have 10 thinly cut, lean pork chops in front of me because when Desi and I were in Tulum, we walked by this place rocking tacos al pastor that were as big as me, topped with the pineapple. My amigo was slicing off the pork per order. They were unbelievable. I ain't doing that because I think that takes like 8 hours. Instead, I have the lean pork chops. I'm gonna push that aside and make my pastor-inspired spice rub. And you know what? Whether it's Mexican or any spice rub, what does Bobby always gravitate towards? Smoked paprika. If there ain't smoked paprika in my spice rub, you might want to check my pulse because there might be something wrong. Let me add 1 tablespoon of that to a small bowl, a teaspoon of ancho chili powder, a teaspoon of ground cumin, and half a teaspoon of coriander. Now here's the reason why spice rubs are your best friend when you're trying to lose weight, because they add an insane amount of fat, but they add an insane amount of flavor, but no fat. It's the opposite of what I said. And this kind of spice rub is so delicious, you could double or triple or quadruple this recipe, keep it in your pantry, and then put it on chicken, on beef, on shrimp for tacos, so money. Dust the pork with a nice pinch of salt and a nice pinch of the spice rub. Flip the meat over and do a little more salt and spice rub. All right, I'm gonna push the pork chops aside, let those marinate for 20 minutes and come to room temperature. In the meantime, we can get cracking on the Mexican-inspired rice, but instead of rice, I'm using my cauli boobs and my broccoli boobs. I've done cauliflower rice before, but I thought it would be fun to get even more vegetation in there using broccoli. Before I do that, I'm preheating a large cast iron pan over medium heat. And by the way, this entire recipe is done in 1 pan, 30 minutes, huge flavor, and super good for you. Can you ask for anything better? Now go ahead and drizzle in 2 teaspoons of grapeseed oil. Go in with half a cup of red onions that I finely diced, and 3 cloves of garlic that are minced. Pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a few cracks of black pepper. All right, that'll be the base for our cauliflower rice. In addition to that, I do want a little bit of heat. You could put red pepper flakes in there, but I love these little red chili peppers I find at the store. Just thinly slice about half of one. Now, the thing is, if you want to be a super lazy butt, you can buy rice cauliflower and rice broccoli at the store already, but I always think the fresh one tastes a little better, has a better texture, and is always cheaper to do yourself. Whenever you can save money, I'm down with that. So just grab ye olde box grater here and grate the cauliflower first. Try not to grate too much of the stalk. Keep it mostly to the florets, and you get this beautiful cauliflower rice here. All right, my medium-sized head of cauliflower has been reduced down to 2 stumps here. That is a good place to stop. I'm gonna put those down and grab my broccoli, my flying broccoli, and then go at it with the broccoli the same way you did with the cauliflower. Now, because the florets are super duper tender, you actually wanna grate some of the stalk for the broccoli, just like you might use broccoli stalks in a slaw. In this dish, they're good and they're gonna add a little bit of texture also. Although, do you ever see those broccoli slaw packets at the store? It's mostly stumps. I don't know about you, but I don't like paying money for stumps. I'll make my own broccoli slaw at home. I don't need to pay $2 to $3 for stumps. What's up with that? All right, I have my mountain of veggies in front of me, ready for the pan. Speaking of the mountain, how scary looking was that dude in the Game of Thrones finale? And how amazing was the Game of Thrones finale? I won't do any spoilers, but damn, it's too bad we have to wait like 450 days until the next season. Make sure you guys have a big pan because this is overflowing. Now, what is Mexican rice without the black beans? I have half a cup of black beans I'm gonna add here. And then let's think about this for a second. That is basically a huge bland pot of veggies, so it needs a lot of love. So pinch over about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt and some black pepper. Now the key to making money cauliflower and broccoli rice is not to overcook it. You still want it to have some bite or a texture to it. If you cook it too long, it gets mushy and it does not have the texture of rice. So I'm just gonna give it one last stir here and then grab a big lid. Well, I thought the lid would fit. It is not even close to fitting. Okay, so sometimes you gotta improvise. So let's go back to the oven here. Big lid. Slap that sucker down. And I'll let it steam for exactly 3 minutes, then we'll check it. All right, I'll give you guys a free facial there. Give that a stir. Now look at the colors in that, you guys. I mean, come on. You definitely wanna eat sexy, colorful food, and that is the definition of that. Now I'm gonna turn the heat to low because I don't wanna really cook it too much longer. And to make this over the top, crunchy, bright, citrusy, and herbaceous, we're gonna shake in 2 teaspoons of shredded unsweetened coconut flakes, a couple tablespoons of chopped cashews, some fresh cilantro, or if you're one of those people who think cilantro tastes like soap, you can definitely use parsley. Now I got a lime, I got my color-coded zester. Let's go in with the zest of half a lime.
Everything's green and white.
Isn't the Mexican flag green, white, and red, right?
Right.
But there's no red in this.
Pork chops.
Oh yeah, the pork chops are kind of red. I like that. That was unintentional, actually. And then the juice of half a lime. If you guys don't have one of these lime juicers, I'll put the link down below for one that is a combination of a lemon and a lime juicer in one. I have to have 2, but you can be one of the cool kids that has the combo. All right, let's kill the heat. Give this guy one last mix up. Ooh, that lime zest from the heat smells so good. Let's do some quality control, AKA a little sample here. You know what? The flavors are absolutely popping in there. The broccoli and the cauliflower still has a little bite to it. Even though it's not rice, it gives me that rice feeling with way less carbs, calories, and barely any fat. Let me grab a big old bowl because we're gonna use that same exact pot to cook the chicken in. And then 1, 2, 3, transfer everything here. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision right now because this pan is smelling so good. All right, I'm just gonna wipe out the pan really quick and then I'll get it back over medium-high heat and then drizzle in 2 teaspoons of grapeseed oil. And even though I'm telling you to do this all in one pan, I wanna get this food in my pie hole ASAP, so I'm gonna use 2 back here. But if you have 1 pan, just do this in batches because you never wanna put too much of the pork chops or too much of any protein in 1 pan, otherwise it won't get a nice sear. And this recipe is all about those spice rubs forming an amazing crust on the pork chops. Let the pan preheat for 2 minutes and then I'll add the pork chops. Perfect. Exactly the sound you want the pan to make. And when you're putting the pork chops in the pan, always lay them away from you. That way the oil doesn't splatter on you, it'll splatter on your wife when she's filming it. Those will cook for honestly 3 minutes, then I'll flip them because remember, they're super thin, you don't want to overcook them. When you guys look at the crust on that pork chop, the spice rubs are searing down into the meat. Give it 2 more minutes on that side and they're done. Pork is so lean, if you overcook it, it's gonna get dry. And if you wanna make your cleanup life much easier, once again, put down the oil splatter guard, it's your best friend. So in the next couple weeks, I wanna do a video for 3 fall soup recipes that are healthy and delicious, but I need your help. I'm thinking maybe roasted butternut squash soup, roasted tomato basil, maybe spinach and quinoa lemon soup, maybe my wife's famous lentil soup, or I'm thinking potato leek soup. Leave a comment below, vote on the 3 you wanna see, or if you have another suggestion, leave that comment too, and I'll hook you guys up. Okay, let's get the pork chops out of the pan. All right, these pork chops smell unbelievable. Now to make that pastor style with the pineapple, I'm gonna mimic that by making a very easy coconut pineapple sauce because I don't got a big old spit with a huge pineapple on top, but I do have the coolest kitchen gadget possibly ever created to open up a can. Just slap it right down on top of the can. And then with one hand, all you do is go around in the circle. And then the best part is after it's done, you take the little magnet here and look at this. What? It picks it up for you. Have you ever opened up a can with one hand? Listen, I'm a geek. It's the little things in life that get me excited, especially for the kitchen. If you're a fellow geek along with me, of course, I'll put the link down below if you want to get this guy on Amazon. Now, check out the pan. We have the leftover crusty bits from the pastor pork. Go ahead and add half a cup of light coconut milk to the pan. And then I have half a cup of diced pineapples. This is frozen actually, but you can use canned. Just drain off as much as the liquid as possible. Go ahead and add that. And then for some limey flavor, or actually in Mexico, they call this a limon, and an actual lemon is called a lima. So super confusing, but I'm gonna call this a lime because that's what I know. I'm just gonna zest in a little bit, and then the juice of half a lime, or a limon, and just give it a mix up. Now look at the color of that sauce. That's because the liquid, or the coconut milk, is dissolving all the crusty bits of the pork on the bottom of the pan. So you're gonna have a little bit of that smokiness from the spice rub, the sweetness and tropical flavor of the coconut, the sweetness of the pineapple, and the sourness of the lime. The easiest pan sauce, yet possibly the most flavorful one in history.
You're salivating, baby?
Wow, see? It's so good. I literally am salivating like a rabid dog in front of you guys. All right, now this only needs to cook for 2 or 3 minutes, but you do have to check it for seasoning. You know, I'm always looking for an excuse to eat while I'm cooking. Ooh, that's zingy, sweet, creamy, and if you eat it with a chunk of pineapple, it's perfect, because I want it a little more on the acidic side. Now, let me bring my pork chops al pastor back, grab a mitt here, and just pour this sauce all over these chops. You guys, I want to jump on this platter and swim in that sauce because it smells amazing. The aromas coming off of here are unbelievable. The only thing I have left to do before I devour this is build a few containers for the week. If you guys follow me on the Flav City Snapchat or Instagram, you will see that we had the best week in Mexico. We ate a year's worth of guacamole along with a bunch of other good food. We went to underground cenotes, which are these natural spring waters. We went swimming in there. I dove off of a 30-meter diving board into the cenote. We went floating in the ecosphere, which is the Siancán floating river biosphere. What did I say? And anyway, we floated for 30 minutes just by ourselves with hawks going over our head, mangroves by the side of us. It was amazing. If you guys haven't been to Mexico, just go there. It's an unbelievable country. All right, anyways, add 2 pork chops to the container, top it with a little bit of pineapple and cream sauce, and then a couple healthy scoops of rice. Meal prepping for weight loss done and looking really good. So good, I think I have to sneak a piece here. Que rico, amiga. You guys, those pork chops are perfectly cooked, still moist and juicy on the inside. The spice rub is banging. That coconut cream sauce on top with the pineapple is so good. It's insane that all this is Mexican inspired, low cal, low carb, low fat, good for you, and it just proves that Mexican food goes way beyond burritos and tacos and chimichangas. This is legit. If you guys want the recipe, it is down below in the description box, along with the storage, the reheating, the macros, the kitchen gear I used for this recipe. Spread the love, share this video, subscribe to my channel for new videos every Friday, and I'll see you next week. But in the meantime, I have 2 more videos below me that will hook you up for weight loss meal prep. Until next Friday, #keep on cooking.